Hey, Supernatural fans, we are back. We are talking about Wayward Sisters because that break needed some girl power. Stay tuned after that opening.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I am the fire.
Yes, we are. Hello, everyone. Welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV, the Supernatural after show. Again, here on AFTERBUZZ TV. I am your host, Alexis Torres. You guys can find me all over social media at atorres890. I got my sister over here because this is talking about Wayward Sisters.
Yes.
Shawna! Okay.
Well, she totally just did the WWE thing for me, so I feel like I need to come in strong, and I'm gonna come on in with, all right, girls, let's go to work.
Yeah!
Just one of the many amazing quotes displaying the badassness of this episode.
Heck
Girl
yeah.
power, we've been gone for a minute. I have missed you, so let's get into it, y'all.
Oh my gosh, I am so ready. Okay,
Me too.
so if you're new, welcome. If you have been with us before, welcome back. How we do this thing is that we recap the show. We have a live chat going, and we will be monitoring that to say hello and everything like that. Put all of your thoughts in there. Definitely check us out on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, all that awesome stuff, because we love Supernatural and we love talking to you about it. So, Shawna, how does it feel to be back in studio talking about our girls instead of boys this time?
You know what it feels like?
Thoughts?
It feels powerful. It feels magical. It feels like basically we're the fire.
Yeah.
Because, by the way, that was the song that was just playing, and it's amazing. Basically, I took all the energy from this episode, and I'm going to try to put that into my entire week for this
Yeah.
upcoming week, because it was so strong, so powerful. I love each and every character, although I'll admit that there was one character that really took it home for me today.
Oh, okay, we'll get into it. Save it.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
save it.
save it. Definitely think that this was a great episode to come back with right before the weekend, because we just had the huge Women's March this past weekend.
Yes.
And so it was just awesome to see powerful women, all different shapes, sizes, colors, coming in
Together.
and kicking major butt.
By the
hunting
way,
things and
check
great.
Out Miss A. Torres. Her photos at this march are just not only so powerful, but also very adorable. So
yeah.
check them out.
I did my things. I have my buns on because I didn't have that cat hat that everybody had. I can't say
Right.
the actual word for the
Right.
hat, but I
Kitty
didn't-
cat hat.
Yeah, the kitty cat hat. I put my own buns in there because I was
Nice.
like, I have little cat ears. But yeah, it was an amazing weekend. It was lovely being around all these. Again, there was not just women there. There was men there. It was just really awesome. So then watching this episode again after the march really gave it a whole new light. So it was just fantastic to see. I mean, again, I love my boys. I think they're great. It was also awesome seeing them in this episode. But I also would have been okay if Sam and Dean weren't in this episode. Maybe just in the beginning, and then we
Right.
didn't see them for the rest of it until the very end. Would have been okay with it. Or if we came back to them later,
But you know the fans.
No.
You gotta give them a little Sam and Dean fix.
Of course, and also
here and
because
there.
it's not Supernatural right now. It's still just Supernatural. It's about the boys. Will get our spin-off later. This
right,
is just
the
a little,
spinoff we deserve.
it's a little bit of teasing, you
Yes.
know, with this one, which I am so excited for the spinoff. It's going
Absolutely.
to be good. And I have questions. So, okay, let's
The
get
writers
into it.
are awake, people.
Yeah, super woke. So Wayward Sisters. I'm gonna start with our boys actually early because of the fact that we didn't get much of them in this episode. But we open up with Sam and Dean just trying to figure out life, but there's someone
In the bad place.
following them in the bad place. A very I knew immediately that it was a lady just because of the way that the figure
Me
was kind of
too.
shaped with her cloak. And so I was like, okay, so it's a lady. I don't know what kind of lady. I don't know if she's a longtime warrior or if she's ruling this land. I'm not sure, but clearly she's skilled because her spear with the sharp edge. I couldn't tell if it was metal or if it was rock at the tip of it, but that was really awesome seeing that because it looked like it could hurt some people. So
And she has some supernatural strength when she threw it too. So.
yeah, we'll get there.
That's-
Well, I mean, especially because we don't really know the creatures of this land. Clearly, the ones that we see throughout the episode, it reminded me of Predator because
oh my
of
gosh,
the
I literally called it
claws.
Predator's cousin in my
yeah,
notes.
because that's what it felt like. And then we see our giant. I'm just kind of sprinkling it all together. Of course, we see our giant, troll
King
giant
Kong
thing.
type of. What was
Question
that,
mark?
chat?
I don't know what you I want to know what you guys thought of. Was it a troll? Was it a giant? Was it a little bit of both? Did you guys think it had fur? Because we didn't really see it that
fully.
up close. We saw the eyes were red.
Right.
Clearly it was, it had like a huge jaw and a bald head. I couldn't tell if there was fur on it. It was very, I don't know, maybe it was just the way I was watching. It was very dark. So
Right.
I'm
You know
curious.
what?
A giant troll. Yeah, that's what I put. I put like a giant troll. I don't know.
And it reminded me of like back in the day when they had those new the monsters like Godzilla and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was very Godzilla.
No, I'll give you that. Like I would throw that into that era for sure, and have like a Godzilla versus this weird giant monster instead of a giant moth, But anyway, so clearly they've been there for a couple days, which I was trying to figure out if it's been a couple days with
real
the
life.
girls. Yeah, I
Right.
couldn't really tell because time was kind of off between the two worlds, and obviously because they're in a different dimension, I couldn't tell, so it was strange. But
Dean thought it was 2 days.
yeah, he
so.
said that. I mean, I'm assuming because when we saw them go in there, it was still dark. So I don't know if it's just dark the entire time. Does it
Right.
become light at one point? Like, I don't know how the weather and the climate is in this area. But they're eating lizards, and I could, and I was like, well, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I can't complain because I've eaten like fried bugs before and stuff like that. Yeah,
You guys, I was told I was gonna be on Fear Factor once, and then they started talking about the things I was gonna have to eat. You guys, I signed that paper away and said no, thank you.
I'm like, thank you
I
for
could
the
not
opportunity, but
possibly
no.
do what Dean was doing, and Dean was crunching away.
Oh yeah, and I love how Sam was like, "Please don't tell me it tastes like chicken." No, it's a lizard. It's gonna
tastes
taste
like a-
yeah, it
like a
tastes like
lizard.
lizard. And I was like, "Yeah, all right, cool, yeah."
But I love that Sam said that first because he's like, I know what you're gonna say.
Even though technically you can, if you look at the if you could zoom in to like where the meat that he was eating, it clearly did look like chicken. So I was like, "Is he gonna say it?" I'm waiting for it, and he didn't. So I was fine with that. I would like to know what lizard tastes like because I'm usually a little bit more adventurous with my food, but I don't
Let
know. I
us
feel
all
like it'll
know.
be gamey, probably like snake or something or not gamey, but rubbery like snake and stuff like that. I don't know. Have you guys tried anything like that? I'm curious.
Have you tried snake, guys?
Yeah.
And if
It's
you
not
did,
great.
why?
It's delicious.
Oh, thank you.
You're just asking about snake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
See?
Gator is really
Gators.
chewy.
Yeah, Gators really.
Snake
rubbery
is
for
like
me.
between chicken and snake.
Yeah.
I mean, between chicken and gator.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically all three of those things that I would not try.
I think it's I don't know. I'm like
But maybe
I'm
a
open to
lizard
it.
if I was in the bad place.
Well, yeah, I don't think you have a choice. I don't think there's just random
that point.
wild chickens like it is like in Hawaii or something where it's just like hello. So it was really cool them trying to kind of figure it out. It didn't look like they were fighting too many things, at least from what we've seen.
Yeah.
Besides obviously dealing with our hooded figure, who was running around and knocked them out. That was crazy.
That was the first time I've ever seen Sam and Dean get their butts whooped.
I mean, it happens quite often in this series, but yes, you are right. Like that.
For real.
Yeah,
like,
that
I
was
thought
rough.
they were laying out. Like, it was to the point where Sam was knocked out past, like, they were still trying him to a tree and he was still knocked out. Dean is like, wake up.
Yeah, get it together,
Get it
Sam.
together. I'm
And he's
already
like,
up.
What? That happens a lot. So they of course they were tied up to these trees. She comes out and she starts banging on the giant skull, and immediately I was like, oh no, she's calling for whatever ate these things.
Ew.
But
And
then
they
they
were big, huge things that thing ate.
Well, yeah, because the fact that the skull that we were seeing was bigger than the two of them, combined, and then they had all the other little bones around. So I was like, yeah. And I love how they're like, what's she doing, or what's that person doing? I'm like, you
Right.
guys
Do
are
you really not
smarter than
know?
this. Like, clearly she wouldn't be hitting that just for funsies. She would be
Right.
hitting it because she's trying to get someone's attention.
Right.
Said giant troll.
Well, Dean looked around and was like, well, looks like she's ringing the bell for dinner, and that's us.
Yeah, time to go.
Time to go.
So we can cut back to our ladies now because it's
the
time.
ladies.
So I love that it really creeped me out because the way the episode opened was we had a little girl tied up and she's kind of freaking out and everything, and we see these two creepy twins. I think it looked like a little bit. No, not twins. One guy had a smaller face. Again, my TV, the brightness wasn't all the way up, but when he was trying to tell a joke and he showed his teeth, I was like, oh,
That
so
was
gross.
weird.
Yeah.
Not only was it gross, it was like you saw a little contrast between the two. One of the guys was not into the situation. Like, he's like, just leave it alone, don't play with your food. And the other one is like, let me tease her and everything before I eat her.
Oh, so gross. But I love that Claire came in, guns blazing, ready to go. But I love how she had a plan. Like she walked in and was like, you know, you have a delivery, and he's like, oh, I think you have the wrong place. I was like, no, it's got your name on it. And I love that she actually wrote something. I thought she was gonna write like, you know, watch your head or something like really snarky, but it was just like, oh, Mr. Werewolf, and he was like, it's a hunter, and then she shot through the box, and I was like, this is insane, and she starts flipping and stabbing and shooting things. I was like, oh my god,
it was like literally
so
she brought the action. She brought the real deal action. And the thing about Claire, I mean, the thing that I like about the writers in the situation, they didn't over sexualize her. It wasn't like, and I know that's probably like whatever, but I've seen UPS with the low cut, with the short shorts, with the
that goes for
bra
men
showing,
and women too.
and, or men and women. And I'm just like, it was so real, and I was feeling her.
And I think that's the one thing I do like about Supernatural is if there's a female hunter, they're usually just, you know, like how Jodie wears her stuff, you know, a big jacket, plaid, and some other things. So I like that. And clearly she's sexy. She has that dark, shadowy, or dark, smoky eye, big lashes. Like, she's still... And her hair was curly. Doesn't matter if she was rolling around in dirt or covered in blood. Her hair was still, like, popping. And I was just like...
She killed 3 werewolves, and not a curl fell out of place.
I was like, what kind of hairspray are you using? I think I need to get me.
She's like Vidal Sassoon.
Stop it. So obviously she saved the little girl. I love the little girl. That little girl's gonna need some therapy because she saw some like terrible things. She saw,
like, as my grandmother would say, some things. Okay, so she's
that poor girl.
Yeah, but she was able to go back to her mother, who will be able to comfort her and show her some love.
Yeah, but no, that girl's gonna need lots of help. Anyway, so she saved her. I love how the little girl kind of warned her that there was someone behind her, and without even thinking, Claire shoots her right away. Yes. I was like, wow, this is insane. But I was like, how did you know? What if it was just some random woman who showed up and you just shot her up? Right. But I think we can see from like her teeth and her eyes that clearly she was a werewolf. But I was worried about that.
Drooling.
Yeah, because she was like, what?
Rabid.
You killed all my people. But
and she's like, and I'm about to kill you too.
I was just worried because it didn't look like she knew what was happening. She was just kind of ready to like shoot whatever was behind her, and I was like, well, we don't know. But clearly she was afraid, the little girl, so that's how you would know. But I was scared that Claire was gonna be like a Dean. Well, she is kind of like Dean, where she's kind of stubborn, kind of goes in guns blazing. Like I'm getting that from her, which is fine. I'm worried about her, but it's fine.
She's little Dean.
Yeah.
And she says things like totally cool right after she just kills another werewolf. So
yeah, that's why
I like how they kept her teen. Like, she's like, it's totally cool.
It's totally fine, everybody. Like, I just kill things, hunt things, save the world. You know,
that's who the hell I am.
And then I tweet about it later. So of course she gets that little girl home. She gets a call from Jodie. Jodie's like, you need to come home. Sam and Dean are missing. I need your help. And so she obviously shows up, kind of battened, and, you know, obviously after her fight, and, you know, Alex Jones is there,
her sister,
and she's just like, you know, you see that you're back, but we can tell
she's
that
like, do you miss me? And she's like,
But it's interesting because there's been time, obviously, that's passed because she hasn't been home in a while. Clearly, Alex has a new job. Like, she's, you know, not hunting. She's not doing anything. She's a nurse. She's a night nurse, I guess. A night nurse, and she's helping Jodie out because Claire's not there anymore. Right. But I love that, like, the tension is still there, too. So they pretty much, like, kind of left off where they, you know, where the last time they saw each other. It was season 11, I think. I can't even remember when the last time they were all together. Someone tell me in the chat if you can.
But there was love there for sure. The fact that, I mean, there was that moment of like a smile, and then even when she came to her job, like, you could feel that sisterly camaraderie between them. But there was some tension, and I think that Claire probably beats herself up more for it than Alex even cares to tell her about herself.
Yeah, she's a night nurse. Yeah, I like that Jacob said that she's a night nurse in Supernatural. Heck yeah.
Right.
I love Alex because of the fact that she's so book smart. So I mean, Claire's also smart, but she's also acting on her instincts and her whim, and she kind of just, like I said, she's like Dean, where she kind of just runs in and kind of just does whatever she wants. Alex likes to take a step back, like Sam, and kind of look at the situation. And also, she also wants more out of life besides just hunting. But she also knows her place, where she's like, Jodie needs us. We're sisters. We're taking care of her. Like, that's the whole point. You know, she took care of us. It's our turn.
Really good comparison, between them.
I mean, I don't want to compare them to specific, you know, characters in the show. I want them to be their own characters, which is what they are. But obviously, we're going to be having that spinoff soon, so I know that that's kind of how we're going to semi-pick, You know, like who does what. Just like Donna, when we see her later, she's kind of like the Bobby Singer of the boys, where you know, she's ready with the weapon, she understands what's going on. She's just like, I'm here, I'm calm, just ready to just help out. Anybody know how to use a flamethrower? Like, you know, I love
like,
that.
where
about
did you get that flamethrower?
Jody?
D-Train.
I'm like, Donna knows what she's doing.
Yes.
Like, she's Minnesotan, she knows what she's doing.
She literally says, I'm from Wisconsin. Like, when she asked her, why do you have all these guns? She's like, I'm from Wisconsin.
Did she say she was from Minnesota?
I thought she said she was from Wisconsin.
Okay, well, I
but
thought,
you know what? Tell us in the chat, because I may have heard
definitely,
because
her accent is from Minnesota, so that's what I assumed. But you guys will let me know, because I can't remember the exact quote. But anyway,
and she was so, like, out of the ordinary. I'm not to talk about Donna, but obviously, guys, she's my fave.
No, she's the best.
She's literally the best. She's, like, came out with all of these weapons, pulled up in her truck, and then she got out, and I'm not gonna lie, she did not look like a fighter to me. Like,
she
just has it in her.
No, man, Donna. Ever since we got introduced to her back in, I don't even know what season it was, I knew immediately. I was like, I want more Donna in my episode.
She's
She's in Minnesota. Okay, cool.
Okay, Minnesota.
Yeah,
okay,
thanks guys. But yeah, I love her attitude about things, especially as soon as she found out about supernatural stuff. She's like, all right, what do I do? Like, I was like, get it,
After
Donna.
2 encounters, she was like, okay, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah,
now.
especially because Jody and Donna are they're not completely different, but they're always on the same page about certain things, and I love their partnership together. Oh, it's so good. So as soon as I found out that Donna was going to be in this show, I was like, yes. Just yes.
I'm happy too.
So we have Patience, who I call Pat, because I'm trying to keep all the words together. We have Patience, we got Alex, Jody, Claire, and then Donna. And of course, they're trying to find Kaya, because from the message that Sam left on Jody's phone, they're trying to find her. She gets taken to the hospital, which a coinkydink that she gets sent to the same hospital that Alex Jones works at. I was like, okay, sure. And
it was at the moment that Claire suggested that she recheck the Jane Doe system that she came in.
I mean, there's always accidents happening and things like that, so it is good to check. I mean, I don't really know what the protocol is to be like, do you check every hour, 10 minutes, 30 minutes? Like, how does that work? So yeah, it's very interesting. So of course they go to see her. She's like ready to bounce, and I'm like, Kaya, did you not learn from the last time we just went through this? Like,
somewhere.
Literally a couple days ago. Like,
and
what's
then she's
happening?
like, I'm a friend of Sam and Dean. She's like, leave me alone.
But I also can't blame her for that. She's like, they just got sucked into a world. I'm out. Bye.
Into not only a world that I'm very familiar with that hurts me. So, goodbye.
I'm good.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm just gonna...
I'm gonna get out.
Finger guns. Awkwardly moonwalk away.
Finger guns.
Yeah, I'm just like, bye. So I understood where she was coming from, but I was like, you also understand the stakes. How are you going to get Sam and Dean out? But of course, when they bring it up, when she gets back to Jody's place, she's like, if they're there, they're dead. And I was like, this is Sam and Dean we're talking about. Like,
right. You don't know.
Relax.
But she's like, you don't know what I've seen. And she's like,
which is true, because these things, I mean, the fact that I wasn't expecting these predator hybrids to be coming out here. Yeah, to be coming out here. I was surprised, but I forgot that the rift or the door stays open for a long amount of time, which Sam and Dean bring up while they're over there. They're like, maybe the door's still open. We can get through that. And in my head, I'm going, if the door was open
enough for Claire, okay, but
you couldn't go back out. Like, you couldn't find just a time when, like, you can go back to that place, check if anybody's there, and then just kind of run through.
I doubt it's like that, because, even when I saw it later, it was in a different place. So maybe it moves?
I have no idea. I can't remember. Was I the only one that noticed something going on between Claire and Kaya?
Me too. Billie Jean girl.
Girl.
I did, but I didn't want to say that because I didn't want to be a little nasty. But I'm just saying, I felt some strong vibes.
I was like, I need this. I need this
but
ship.
You know what?
I need this to happen. I want it.
Right.
It could be gayer. Sorry.
Me too. High five me.
Sorry.
No, what I will say is, I did see somebody talk about Jack and Kaya. They wanted to ship Jack.
That's
and
not
Kaya,
happening.
But Jack is still so young to us. Like, we don't know. So let's let him work out the situation he's working out, and they're gonna bring somebody for him good.
Yeah.
Maybe Patience. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, again, with Supernatural, it's tough because we don't really have ships that
Right.
much.
We just want to
here.
have 'em.
We just want it all the time because, I mean, just like our boys, they don't really get with anybody.
Right.
So it's tough. If it happens,
And
I'm
Jack's
all
one
down.
of the boys, so he probably won't get with anyone,
I
guys.
highly doubt it, you guys. I mean, well, you never know. He might find a love interest, but, like, it might not stay. I would love for Claire to be a bisexual because that would be great. Another bisexual lead. I would be the happiest person. But I'm not.
Representation is real.
Yeah, and again, I loved seeing all the girls together because you have Patience, you have Alex, Jody, Claire, Donna, and Kaya. It was really great to see them all together, kind of trying to work through it
With their
and things
individual
like that.
strengths.
And I also love that Kaya and Claire, speaking on chemistry as well, the fact that, Claire was able to pick up on the fact that, oh, she's clearly scared of what's happening, from this bad place. She's getting bruises and scars. I have plenty. I love how she went through kind of like a list of like all the things that she has. And they had that cute little moment with the doorknob.
Right.
And
Made
it just
her feel comfortable.
But
just...
but that's the great thing about this show is that it's not like catty women or petty women trying to be like, ah, you're prettier than I am or something like that. And of course that's not what the show's about. But there are plenty of shows that are like that where they get either jealous or feel like there's no connection to the other women in the room. Like the fact that they all had something to strive for in this, and they all have great flaws but also great strengths as well. It was perfect.
I loved it. I thought that they gelled quickly and easily. And the thing about all of these women is that they did have a little tinge of these things, so it was kind of real. Like even when Claire first met Patience, and she's like, okay, so you're wearing my sweater, so what are you sleeping in my is she sleeping in my room too?
Yeah, see, that was where I was kind of like, can we not do this? I was very worried about that Claire was just going to be this person who was just like, you're in my space, I need you out. And I'm like, girl, you haven't been here.
But she's guilty of herself because she ended with well, I'm the one who left. So it's
Which
like,
I loved that she was able to grow from that. It didn't last very long.
Yeah.
And of course, I was a little worried when Patience told her, like, hey, this is what I saw. You died. And she laughs. And I was just like, okay, I need you to rein it back a bit. But
you are not invincible.
yeah, but at the same time, I also understand that people deal with death in different ways. So I was like, okay, it probably was just a nervous laugh.
I think she just really did not believe her. I think she
yeah,
was
of
just
course
like,
not.
girl, you're fake. You're baby psychic.
Yeah, like, you don't understand.
I've been doing this for a long time and I ain't died yet.
And it's dumb to think of it that way, but I
Yes.
liked that discussion that she has with Kaya later when Donna is introduced and they go to check the boatyard. That she's like, I've always thought, like, if this is how I'm gonna go, it's fine because that's how I want it to be. But when you say it out loud and you really think about it, it's scary.
Scary.
And I'm like, yeah. Welcome to the
Welcome
real
to
world,
everyone
sweetheart.
else's thoughts.
This is how
about death.
this is how the world works.
Exactly.
Get it together.
Exactly. You are not invincible.
Yeah,
But-
especially because she's so young, too. It's not like, Jody, who's been helping the boys out for some time, too. It's not like she's like, yeah, whatever, go into danger. She has to think about the other options, which I'm hoping that's what the Wayward Sisters, when we get into the actual show, will have to deal with.
Yeah.
Because there is an age difference. You have to take that into perspective, just a little bit.
I hope they deal with the question of, will she be able to still fight as fearlessly and freely once she actually deals with all of her ego thing that has this wall up.
Oh, I
makes her
mean,
feel
that's
like,
why I'm
Let me not
very-
get too psychological, y'all.
No, but I'm also very intrigued because the fact that she made a connection with Kaya so fast.
Yeah.
When we deal with our ending, which we'll get to in a second,
Right.
of what Claire is going to do with that. Because clearly, I'm assuming when Wayward Sisters comes up, we're not going to have to deal with that right away. There'll probably be a few episodes in between before we get to that, or if we do deal with that, because I was very confused with Kaya's character in
Me
this
too.
episode. So anyway,
And last episode.
yeah, I just what's happening? So we get but it makes anyway. So Donna comes in, talks about her guns. They go to the boatyard. They have their little moment. I also love that Patience had her fear moment of like,
Yes.
hey, I can't do this. I'm gonna go. And Alex was the voice of reason, where she's like, you should come with us.
And you
you're-
can help in other ways.
Yeah, which again, that's why I've always liked Alex.
Right.
And
She's
the
a
fact that she's
thinker.
like, you have to think of the bigger picture, not just you in this scenario. And immediately she has a vision. She sees that they're about to raid the house, and they're like, we have to go. And of course, Claire's like, no, we're
not
gonna stay
today.
here and fight. Girl, you need to pick your battles. Just
Right.
listen to her. And I love that they set up the camera or the webcam from the computer, and I saw the things that were happening, and she's like,
Right.
believe me now. I was like,
That was her I told
Get
you
it,
so
Pat.
moment, and I was happy about it because she just went through the situation where she had to go ahead and, because Patience is not very like outspoken
she's not confident
when it comes to that.
either.
So she had to say, listen, my visions are real, whether you want to blow them off or not. That's on you, but I want like the way she used her voice made them listen to her.
Yeah,
I
and
like that.
and it was enough because she was worried about everybody, and she's like, "Look, you can be mad at me all you want or not believe me, but if you want to live,
You better
like
come with
Terminator
me."
style, like
Yeah.
you know, come with me if you want to live." Like she had that moment, and then I love how she's like, "Well, we're gonna set up a camera, and we're gonna see what happens."
So I can make sure you see. But it was funny to me that she was even thinking about leaving, talking about maybe my dad will take me back. Baby girl, your father disowned you. I wouldn't run back to him if I was running away from a monster. So just give him some time to
Or-
miss you and
Yeah, and then
do
he'll
your
be
thing.
fine. And also the fact that you don't want to bring that stuff with you, because then
Right.
your dad will be in trouble.
Yeah,
Stick
that's
with people who
true.
have dealt with the supernatural together, because if you separate off, one, you could be in danger or endangering others who don't understand this world. Clearly, he understands because his mother was a psychic, but
And it's a lot to handle alone for herself to even have those visions and to have that thing on her.
I mean,
the
like,
conscience on her.
because at least her grandmother had enough time to sit. What? Okay. Anyway, sorry, I got caught up in the
We were
chat.
reading the chat.
But I'm trying to remember, or my thought was, yeah. So the fact that Patient's grandmother pretty much was able to deal with this on her own. She was a much older lady. She had other psychics and other friends, so she had time to build this world around her. Patience this is her first time. Like, this is her first like major vision on her own with no one to help her except
Right.
for these girls. So
And I like that she was able to admit that she doesn't fully have control of things yet. She's like, I'm just learning my power. I don't know if it's always accurate, but I do know that these monsters are on the way. So we
have to go.
Get up out of here. And as
Yeah.
they were leaving, we saw what we saw. And I was
crazy.
spooked.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to be in the house.
Those things are
good.
ugly, obviously smelly, and they all have blue blood, obviously.
That
And
was crazy when Claire stabbed him in the jaw and all that stuff came out. I was like, whoa, that's intense. So of course, again, Claire and Kaya have that talk, and Kaya encourages her to go after, what she wants, which is great. She's like, if I'm going to go, I want to go on my own terms. All right, well, let's go
Oh,
check.
But they form an alliance, but to go together, right?
Yes. So pretty much they're like, hey, Jody isn't picking up her phone. We need to go find her, which is great. But at the same time, I'm like, Jody's also a grown woman. She probably understands she can't answer her phone.
She can't answer her phone right now, but she'll hit you back. But
Yeah,
no,
but-
they knew.
No, they knew there's something was wrong. So they're
Right.
like, we should go check because they're two ladies by herself. Like, you never know. So, and they were within driving distance. It's fine. So they all drive up there. I love that like kind of like heroic shot of like everyone
my
together.
God, I love that set it off scene. That's
Yeah.
what I call it, the set it off scene, because Alex was down there shooting 2 times after the predator was already dead. And then we had Donna shooting. We had Jody saying, let's get them, girls, or let's go to work. And then even Patience let off a few shots. And wait a minute, let me just give my gangster props to Jody, who
Oh yeah.
literally took one hand, turned it to the side, and popped a cap in that predator's head twice. I said, okay, well, you've been watching all your gangster movies and you know how to shoot in the head. She
Yeah.
did that.
No, it was crazy, and that's what I loved, and that's why I've always loved Donna and Jody, just because they've always been on the same page, and
Right.
I love that you can tell that they've worked together a little bit longer since now that we've been mostly focused on the boys, so clearly they understand it. So I think it's
Yeah.
great that they have this little tiny alliance together, and it's just I love Donna.
I love those two. Those two are like power.
Oh yeah, but I'm also happy because if, let's say, Jody and Donna get hurt in some way, shape, and form, the girls will be able to handle it.
Right.
So Patience had to deal with obviously shooting off a gun for the first time, which is always scary. I don't care who you are.
Yes.
It's weird, and she had a shotgun too. That's tough as a first time gun.
I do not understand how that worked.
She-
They couldn't have given her the handgun that Jody had.
Nah, they're like, you're gonna just if you
Start
can
big.
if you can get past the big gun, you can do a small gun. I was like, okay, all right.
And
I
she
can
did
do
it.
this.
She's like,
All
I
right.
killed a monster.
Yeah. Oh, I was so proud of her when she said that. I was like, oh,
Right.
sweet baby child. It's okay. Summer child.
You're no
it's
longer a
fine.
baby. You're now a toddler.
I know. Good job. Baby steps. But
Yes, Gangsta Jody.
but yeah.
Hashtag.
But I also love that Jody was also gonna not sacrifice herself, but she was gonna go in until Donna was like, Jody, do you not hear that? And she's like, we should go check it.
Right.
But yeah,
that was such a heartfelt moment for me because she's like, I cannot lose another child, and that really, you could tell she was tearing up there. That moment of in a parent's life where that fearlessness does not apply to you and your children.
yeah, and especially because the fact that Claire, I mean, I'm assuming she's way over the age of whatever, and she also knows that Claire's been on her own this entire time. She's like, okay, I know I can't stop you from going, but please be careful and know that I'm here to support you, whatever, and whatever. Because I also understand that Jodie's very protective, which makes sense. She's a mom, so
Right. And she knows about some bad stuff.
they all do. So yeah, it was awesome to see that it wasn't like Jodie being overprotective. It wasn't Jodie trying to be like super worried. She was just like, you do this, but you have to come back to me at some point.
Right. Although I did think she kind of underestimated Claire a lot through that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, of course. But I
you need to stay here to keep everyone else safe.
yeah, but I also was trying to see it from Jodie's eyes, where it was like, I'm also trying to keep you safe, but also I know that probably you would be the best one to protect everyone in this group right now.
True.
So I was trying to give her like both, if that makes sense.
Claire's mom was killed by an angel.
I call Jodie their mom just because she's the one that raised them.
Yeah.
At the very end.
They consider her the surrogate mother.
Yeah, surrogate
when you,
mother.
like, read
Yeah, but I mean, Jodie is Jodie's their guardian, but I think it's great that Jodie is there to be like the mom. Yeah.
To have that be that figure for
Yeah,
them.
I mean, it's huge. Yeah, but I know that Claire is not their daughter.
Yeah.
You can clearly tell. Anyway, so Jodie lets her go, but she obviously brings Kaya with her, and she goes, "I'll protect you." As soon as she said that, I was like, okay.
Those are like a death wish.
But I didn't think Kaya was going to die. I thought she was going to get hurt. The way she went, I was not prepared, y'all. I was like, what is happening?
I was a little confused on that part. Like, I think Kaya pushed Claire out of the way, right?
Yes.
What the heck, Kaya? Claire said she was going to protect you. What are you doing?
No, but Kaya also felt that, she understood that Claire was afraid to die. So Kaya was just like, oh, no, I like you. I mean, as a friend.
Right.
And, I want to save you, which makes sense.
And this is the bad place, and I'm going to face my fear. And
she
then
did it.
She died brutally.
No, that thing, we saw the vision that patients had, and it seemed like it just kind of went in and we kind of moved on. But I wasn't expecting her to throw it across the way. I was like, whoa.
Punctured and exploded several organs inside.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sure.
and then she fell over and died. I was like...
But they were like,
what?
they held hands throughout the entire thing, and you could tell that Claire was struggling right then and there, to handle that.
Yeah, because she just connected with somebody that wasn't her sister or the boys or Jodie, and she's like, what?
You're dead. And I said I will protect you. So, but they get out. That's when Sam and Dean start yelling, come on, we have to get out.
But I love how she was ready to fight said shadowy figure, and Dean's like, no, we have to go. And I was sitting there going, we don't have time. Do you see how tiny this doorway is? We have to go. I was so upset.
Today, Claire.
Yeah. I mean, also even when they were just kind of standing around when they freed Sam and Dean, I was like, are we seriously going to stand around and talk about this? We should literally be going through the door.
She's like, I have to show my presence and let them know it's me that saved them. Hey, guys.
I was like, can we not? And also when they're like staring at said bid thing, I was like, okay, you've been staring at it for quite some time now. We should probably back up. Back up and go into the door. So, I mean, obviously we needed them to stay longer because we needed to see Kaya's death. Because the reveal at the end is crazy. Well, hold on. So we obviously get back. Sam and Dean thank them, but obviously Claire is going through something, which makes sense. I think that was my favorite part, was that Claire wasn't just like, we lose everybody. Like, how Dean is when he lose somebody. I mean, clearly he goes through stuff, but he pushes it so far down that he kind of just pretends like it didn't happen.
It manifests itself in when he kills things.
Yep. But I like that Claire was able to be like, I'm not okay. And I just need to be alone right now. And she was crying and she was upset. Like, I liked that she was vulnerable enough to be like...
And Jodie was there for her, too.
Exactly, which we rekindled their relationship again through that. Because the fact that Claire clearly was like, I promised her. And I let her down. But that's also how things like this work. War and everything. It's like, I can protect you, but if something goes wrong... things happen.
That actress played the heck out of that part, guys, because she even had a stoic look on her face, but still had a tear falling out of her eye. I felt the guilt. I felt the pain. I felt everything. And I really liked when they were showing how Jodie was comforting Claire. I liked that Patience recognized, like, this is the vision I saw, where, you know, Claire was being held by Jody and she thought that Claire was gonna die. So this is now the first, I think, error in any way that we've seen from Patience as far as her visions. Do you think she couldn't see the things going on in the bad place?
No, but it makes sense. I mean, I think, gosh, I'm trying to remember her grandmother's name, but she went through the same thing. A lot of psychics, I think that's the one thing that I love, though, is because of the fact that she didn't see it clearly, but it also, you know, she's also learning. Right. So I feel like it's okay for her to do that. I mean, she clearly saw something was wrong. Someone got stabbed, and then all you see next is somebody holding their daughter. Like, it makes sense.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
it wasn't longer visions. It was very short. And it didn't look like Claire was, like, upset at Patience for messing that up. But I like that Patience is realizing that, oh, maybe it's not, I should really look into my visions more. You know, because
or try to find a way to be more in tune, just like accept them.
Yeah, because I feel like her denying them all the time is causing her not to really think through her visions, because the fact that technically the visions about said predator hybrids coming into the room was completely true. And her, you know, we also saw Jody, you know, almost being stabbed, and she prevented all of that too.
Yeah.
So it's going to happen. It's a learning curve. So I'm very interested to see how she's going to learn to be better with that, because now she doesn't have her grandmother to help her.
I know. Hopefully, come on, Supernatural. Bring us in like a little psychic mentor real quick.
Yeah, at least somebody.
So we can get some directions.
Yeah, somebody. Yeah, Missouri. Thank you. Someone maybe that Missouri knows that maybe they can bring in. Maybe Jody's met this person or something like that to bring over to
someone
talk to
we
her.
trust, because monsters be popping up out of nowhere in this show. Honey.
So obviously Claire has a little bit of a voiceover. They're having takeout. They're all hanging out, which is so funny.
By the way, love the journaling.
Yeah.
So funny, so cute.
No, but I like that because the fact that Sam and Dean's father had a journal, and that's how they kind of all got involved in this, was because the fact of he had a journal of all of his hunts and like specific things. So it's kind of cool that she's starting her own, so that maybe her kids or vice versa or whoever who wants to take up after that can watch her journal, is what I'm assuming. So I like that there's that comparison. I also, every time I see that table, it makes me laugh, because the last episode that I remember them seeing them is that they had it was Jody, the boys, Claire, and Alex having this awkward dinner about sexual education and all this kind of stuff. It's great. I don't know if anybody remembers. I was in season 11. That one's hilarious. Anyway, but it was really cool seeing them all together. It looks like Patience is probably going to stick around for a while, because clearly she has nowhere else to go.
Right. And I think she feels empowered now. Like, I think she's like, okay, wait, I killed a monster, so I'm with the right team.
But I also think it's better for her to be with people who understand that she has a power, instead of her being on her own. And if something happens, they're not like, oh, what's wrong?
Right.
You know, like, she's like, what did you see? Like, they have to ask the right questions, and that's what I think is really great about her staying here. And I like that Claire realized, she's like, I can't leave. I mean, I am staying. Like, I'm not staying here
because
for
I'm
them.
broken.
Yeah, or I'm broken. I'm staying here because I need them. And I was like, yeah, get it, girl.
It
Good
was
job.
so family. Like, at the end was warm. This entire episode was like action packed and warm and like dope. I just loved it. This was my favorite episode this season so far. And I'm giving a lot to it, but I am all about the girl power. And on top of that, I got to see a little bit of my boys too. So
yeah, it was a really good episode. I think all around it was a really good episode, and that twist at the end really got me going. So
talk about it.
Yeah, so I know we're about to go into the last part of the episode. So at the very end, we see her make another opening or another rift, and someone jumps through. It's our hidden figure. I keep saying hidden figure. Shadowy figure. Cloaked figure, whatever. Hooded figure. I just saw the movie. I think that's why.
Oh, nice.
And she flips open her hood, and it's Kaya. And we're like,
literally, my mouth dropped the heck open, and I had an
so
audible.
Confused. Yeah. What? Yeah. Yeah. You can ask my husband, because he was. We were getting ready to come here, and I was watching, and I went, wait. What?
Right.
What just happened? So
I could not believe that. Our innocent little Kaya, who's just so rebellious.
So this is the time where I'm going to, because we have a little bit of a lag after that, we're going to start throwing your predictions into the chat for the Wayward Sisters, not for the actual Supernatural show, because obviously we're going to be continuing the storyline in the spinoff. So predictions. Let's do it.
Predictions for the Wayward Sisters.
Yes.
All right.
At least for this storyline. So yeah, because I don't think we're gonna get
AFTERBUZZ
that.
TV.
Yeah. So predictions for the Wayward Sisters / just the storyline, because obviously for Supernatural we'll get the rest of the storyline for this season next episode.
Right.
Clearly. So Kaya is back. Question mark?
Kaya's back or the look-alike?
I have two predictions. Either one, she has a twin, which is like super. That's like super soap opera, but that's the only thing I can think of. Or if you want to go
But I
a little
like
bit
it.
higher, clones? Question mark? Because it's weird. Because the fact that they're in a prehistoric age, but there are mystical creatures running around. I thought that the predator thingies were like dejected clones, and because they were dejected, they like kind of form
Ew,
into the
withered
environment that
away.
they're in. Yeah. So I mean, again, I'm not saying that this is obviously true or anything. These are just sci-fi speculations that I have, where I feel like we've seen shows that are like, oh, I tried cloning. These are all the rejects, and they all look like disfigured and all creepy. But I mean, obviously, I don't know if they all look the same, because we only saw the one with the mask. So if that's the case, maybe someone's just making these creatures, and we can just kind of move on from there. But there has to be a reason why there's two of them. Mm-hmm. So that's my prediction for that, at least for Kaya. What do you think?
Those are some great predictions.
Thank you.
Totally from a sci-fi perspective. I think that Kaya is going to try to trick Claire into believing that she is back, and I don't know
how she's gonna do that.
It could be anything. Claire's in a very weird state right now.
True.
So,
So
I
maybe she
mean-
could say that maybe somebody saved her, or
Right.
or
could
she was
say-
healed or something, and then maybe she'll show the scar from
Right.
where she got stabbed.
And I think that might be her access to the boys or to.
At least to the girls,
To
and
the
like figure
girls,
out what they
something.
want. Yeah.
So I didn't like that.
Interesting.
But I also thought that
I think
we're
it's a
gonna
great
see
prediction.
more of Donna doing more badass stuff.
Heck yeah, I
Like,
want it.
I feel it.
Just know, Supernatural
so
writers, fans, viewers, supporters of our show and the Supernatural show and Wayward Sisters, if Donna dies, I riot. Just putting that out there.
we riot.
I will go into the LA streets and I will riot.
And I will go into these online Twitter streets and I will riot there.
Yeah. So either way, it'll just be me by myself going, Donna deserved to live. And they're like, what's happening? Who are you? Who's Donna? But yeah, I want more.
Just support my cause.
Yeah, I want more ladies doing awesome stuff and start pulling other ladies, not into the group itself, but talking to other
Right.
women and stuff. And I want to see more monsters. Like, I'm very excited. I do agree with people in the chat that someone says that they're going to be dealing with the rifts the entire season
okay.
of Wayward Sisters, which I would totally be fine with, because I want to know
too.
more.
I want to know
About the
more about
rifts.
the bad place.
How do you control it? Yeah, things like that. Are there other places besides the bad place? And the other
Yeah.
one with oh, that was my other prediction. Because in the other place where Lucifer
Jack,
and Mom and Jack are right now, we have a Bobby Singer who's alive. But Bobby Singer's dead in our world. So technically, maybe Kaya was alive in our world, but there is
wow.
another copy, because it is an alternate universe.
Look at this girl, you guys.
Yeah,
She is
that's what I forgot to mention.
She's a brain.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, Bobby Singer. That's why I mentioned it earlier, where I brought him up. That was what I was trying to remember. So yeah, so I think clones still, but also like clearly it's another universe, so maybe, and that would explain why she's being affected by the bad place, because her clone or her other self, her alternate self in this universe, is being hit by those creatures. So that's why she's having dreams and visions, is because she's fighting those things off.
I'm
I'm assuming.
blown away.
Yeah.
I do not know what is going to happen, but what I will tell you is that I am dying to see the next episode. They should just go ahead and play it early for me so I can just find out what happens.
Yeah, I don't know. But I am excited to see what they do, because I know that I'm trying to remember. I think they said either in an interview or in a magazine or an article or something like that they're not going to be like traveling that much. They're supposed to be staying in said town. But I'm hoping they break that, because I would like to see them travel. But
they
yeah.
did say that that's how they're going to explain the storyline of it all being in Sioux Falls. Is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
There's going to be those rifts.
Yeah.
And so many different things are
But
coming
I'm
through
like,
them.
why Sioux Falls though? Why is that? Is it what is it? Magic lines? Like what? Why is this town the only one getting affected? I mean, it's fine. I think someone said it in the chat too. I might
So
have
they
missed
won't
it.
be driving in their cars like Sam and Dean.
Oh, but I like that, Black Jones. I think it's great. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would like it, but if they don't, that's fine. I mean, that's why she probably mentions the town like twice or 3 times.
Right.
So I'm like, okay.
So they let them know this is now the place of activity. This
I mean,
is
that's
the portal
fine.
now.
Yeah, but it's just crazy because I'm like, poor Sioux Falls. Like,
I
didn't ask for
know.
this life.
Just a quiet little town about to get some monster loving.
Yeah. Oh, I love that Black Jones said they're gonna be stuck in South Dakota. That sucks. I mean, maybe that's where all the magic happens. It's in South Dakota. I don't know. It's fine.
We wouldn't mind taking a trip, so South Dakota, call us.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to know if they will eventually do that. But I mean, I'm fine with staying. It's the first season. That's fine. Stay in one place. That's cool. And maybe we can eventually move. I mean,
Right.
they could technically call Sam and Dean if they need something to go outside of South
done out
Dakota.
there.
Maybe. I don't know.
Do you think that Claire is going to eventually get so restless that she's going to leave and maybe they'll have to follow her and go do some monster hunting after they follow her?
Maybe not this. Maybe not in the first season, but definitely
like,
probably if it gets renewed for
over
more,
time.
sure. Because I feel like Claire understands why she's there, and there's definitely going to be enough activity for her to be there. And with this Kaya, alternate Kaya, dark
Right.
Kaya, I don't know.
Dark Kaya, I like
yeah,
it.
with this dark, because it's evil Kaya. Maybe we don't even know if she's even evil. We just know that she's clearly been in an environment that might have made her this way. Question
saw
mark. So I will say dark
that
Kaya for now.
spear go through the bones and the flesh of other Kaya.
But she also has to
so
deal
I
with,
think
like-
she's totally evil.
I mean, look, do you see the creatures she has to deal with and the animals? I mean, you never know. She might have needed something that has to crush bone. I don't know.
To get dinner.
Yeah, hey man, more lizards. Anyway, so as you can see, we're obviously missing our third. Lucretia Lyon will be back next week.
Yes.
I will be missing next week. We'll talk about that later. But it's okay because I'm really happy that the show is back. And
We're back, baby, and better than ever.
heck yes. Don't forget to go to iTunes, find our show, rate it, 5-4 stars because the other ones do not work, and let us know what you guys think of our after show and the show itself. Definitely tweet to the actors and actresses, whether they're small characters, big characters, doesn't matter. We want them to come into studio, hang out with us. We're going to talk about the season because
Yes, we want
is
who you want to have.
exactly
for us.
insane. So let them know about this after show. Tell them to come on over, and then maybe we'll get them in. Shawna, where can the beautiful Supernatural fans find you?
Hey, Supernatural fans, you guys can all find me over social media at DShawnaO. As you know, I'm Shawna O, and I'm so glad to be here every week talking Supernatural.
Hey everyone, again, Alexis Torres. You guys can find me all over social media at atorres890. I'm on two other after shows besides this one here on AfterBuzz TV. If you love Lethal Weapon, that airs on Tuesdays, you should check that out. Again, I will not be here, but there will be a guest. You should go check them out and see who's going to be in studio. And then on Thursdays, we have The Librarians. There might be a guest on that one as well. So if you love that show, which airs on TNT, you should also go check that out. Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you the following week, but you will see these beautiful ladies next week for episode 11. Mwah! Good night, everyone.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.